Hello friends, my name is Kristine and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm gonna go through my reading journal from last year. This is the second time I've set up a reading journal, and I chose a square size notebook from Archer and Olive last year. I took a lot of inspiration from Monica. Her Instagram account is bibliophile by night. And I did really enjoy the square notebook, but at the same time, a blank page is quite terrifying sometimes. So now I'm gonna go through the layouts that I had set up last year. I'll talk through what worked, what didn't work. It was a little bit difficult for me sometimes to sit down because I did have a newborn. So finding the time to fill this in was a little bit difficult at times, but I tried my best and it was a little bit easier as she got older. So on this page, I set up a daily, but it was very difficult to fill in on a daily basis. And I also tried the core pile system, but it was just a little bit too complicated for me since I don't read that many books. I didn't really need to go into depth of a star rating. So I was happy just to use the good old system, just one to 5 stars. I didn't end up writing a reading goal last year because the main goal for me was actually just reading more books compared to the year before. Then on these pages, I have my series tracker on the left, and on the right is my manga tracker. I made the mistake of writing down the series that I own rather than the series that I was actually in the middle of. And I sort of did the same thing on the manga side. So I will have a better layout for this year's journal. Then we get to my new release page. I did like how this setup ended up coming together. I used the stickers from the Coffee Monsters & Co. I'm actually not sure if she has the same design for this year, but it was hard to keep up with this throughout the year. And when there was a new book about to be released, it was already on my radar, so I would just buy it as soon as I could. Then we get to my books read page, and on the right is my books bought page. I copied this design from Monica. I will link her Instagram account in the description box below. But I've really enjoyed filling this in throughout the year, and it's actually something I looked forward to and kept up with. Especially my books bought pages. I went a little bit crazy buying new books last year, and I did try to read as much as I could. The ones that are colored in are actually the ones that I read, and I'm hoping that this year my books read page will look similar to this, because it's just very satisfying seeing the whole page filled in. And I had to add an extra page on the left for more books that I bought. And surprisingly, in December, I actually didn't buy any more books. So this is probably the only complete page I have. Then we get to my book collection pages. This is probably something that I regretted doing, but at the same time found some satisfaction in writing out everything that was in my collection at the time. But it did take a while, and I spent most of the year just filling it in, because anytime I would get a spare moment, I would just look at my shelves and slowly add the books to my list. And I started adding the books that I bought from 2024, but I don't know if I will do the same this year. I will probably just write down everything that I bought in 2025. So we'll see. I follow Christy Ann Jones and Chloe Bunny on Patreon, and I tried to join the book club every month, but since I'm such a mood reader, I wasn't in the mood to read any of the books that were chosen, unfortunately, and I only managed to read one, which was the 7 Years Slip, and I didn't add any more the next 6 months of the year. So I will have a similar layout, but it won't be specific to whoever's book club it is. I will just join a few here and there and try to read the books that they're reading. And then this is just my Goodreads challenge page. My 5-star books, I'm yet to fill in and print some stickers, and I really like how this turned out. I like tracking all the books that I read in this sort of format. It's just something very satisfying about it. I also tried to keep track of the books I read on my Kindle, but I don't think I will repeat that this year. Then we get to my monthly statistics. I got this idea from Rachel Catherine. She had something similar, or I think exactly the same, in her journal last year. And I do actually like doing this part as well as the genre tracker, so I will add something probably more simplified in this year's journal. But I did track my total books, and you can see in the bottom there it said 443, so I'm probably almost to 500. And then this page, I just like to call it 2024 Hopefuls, because like I said, I am such a mood reader, and this is my hopeful TBR from last year, but a lot of the times I didn't really refer back to this page to figure out my next read. Usually I won't know until I finish a book, and then I'll know what to read next. Then we get to my monthly layouts. At this point, I'm gonna fast forward everything and just talk through what worked for me in the year and what didn't. So I started off writing reviews on the books that I read every month, and then I would take a picture of all the books that I bought for the month. I don't usually write a TBR for the month because I don't really know what I'm going to feel like. March, I put myself on a book buying ban, and in April, I actually only bought 2 books, and the Renegade series was gifted to me by my partner. And in May, because June is my birthday month, the book shopping started in May, then continued to June, and then ended in July. So I bought a lot of books between those months. I also read the Throne of Glass series for the first time last year, which was very exciting. And it was halfway through the year I realized I needed a palette cleanser in between reading Throne of Glass. So I read Just for the Summer and Funny Story and Heartstopper when I was in the middle of Throne of Glass as well. I can manage to read 3 or 4 books all at the same time, but sometimes fantasy, I find I need a little bit of brain break every once in a while. And then I was trying out this new review layout because for the books in the Throne of Glass series, the review just wouldn't really fit in half a page. So I was going to write a whole page about Tower of Dawn, but I still have to come back to that. And as you can see, I read a lot of manga around this time. I had just finished a tandem read, so I needed to recover from reading 2 books back to back. So I really enjoyed manga and discovered Laid Back Camp, which was such a cute series, and I'm still currently in it actually. I'm up to book 7 currently. August, I started the Mortal Instruments series, and currently I'm up to book 5. And finally, I finished Kingdom of Ash in August and wrote a very long review about it, but that's probably justified with how thick the book is. And September also went a little bit crazy book shopping. October was getting a little bit better. I'm still enjoying my manga and listening to City of Glass at this point. I have the books, but I find the writing are a bit small in the copies I have, so I much prefer the audiobooks. And then Powerless, I finally got to read in November. And then December, I only managed to finish 1 book and not buy any. So now I'm going to go through the entire journal and flip through it. If you've made it this far, I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to watch my first video. And I hope you have a good day and night. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.